Hello student, myself Prakash Ingre, and today's we are going to learn about the topic Kingdom Plantae and subtopic Plant Life Cycle and Alternation of Generation. Plant life cycle, that is life cycle of a plant, includes two phases, namely sporophyte and gametophyte. Plant life cycle includes two phases, that is sporophyte is diploid and gametophyte is haploid. Then some special diploid cells of sporophyte divide by mitosis to produce haploid cell. These haploid cell divides mitotically to give rise to gametophyte. The gametophyte produce male and female gamete which fuse during fertilize to produce diploid zygote. It divides by mitosis to form diploid sporophytes. The sporophytic and gametophytic generation generally occur in alternatives in the life cycle of plant. This phenomena is called as alternation of generations. The life cycle of plant, there are always two phases. The first phases is gametophyte and second phase is sporophyte. The sporophyte is diploid and the gametophyte is haploid. These some special diploid cells of sporophyte divide by meiosis to produce haploid cells. These haploid cells divide mitotically to give a gametophyte. In gymnosperm and angiosperm, gametophyte is much reduced and exists within a sporophyte. In alga, based upon the nature of dominant phase in a life cycle, it is called haplontic, diplontic or haplodiplontic life cycle. Why it is called haplontic and diplontic life cycle? Because the nature of dominant phase of life cycle is haplontic and diplontic. Next, the types of life cycles. There are three types of life cycles. First type is diplontic, second type is haplontic, and the last one is haplodiplontic. In the upper part of the cells, that is N is a haploid number and 2N is a diploid number. The first diagram shows diplontic. In first figure, we see here the mitotic divisions occurs only in a diploid cells. Mitotic divisions occurs only in a diploid cell, but the gametes formed through the meiosis are haploid in nature. Mitosis is a diploid, but the gamete is the haploid in nature. The diploid zygote divide mitotically. In this figure, we see the diploid zygote divide mitotically. In this process, production of multicellular diploid organisms. In the production of many diploid single cells takes place, and the examples is in animals. In first figure we already see the diplontic phase. Second diagram we show the most fungi and some algae, that is haplontic. Here the mitosis occur in the haploid cells. In the mitosis phase we see occurs in the haploid cells. It results in the formation of single haploid cells. These forms produce the gametes through mitosis. Zygote is the form after fertilization. This cell is the only diploid cell in the entire life cycle of the organisms. Same zygotic cell later undergoes in the meiosis. Examples are some algae and fungi. In the last example or last figure, we see the haploid or diplontic in plants and some algae. Here mitosis in the both diploid and haploid cells. These organisms undergo through the phase in which they are multicellular and haploid in the gametophyte. A phase in which they are multicellular and diploid, that is porophyte. In third diagram we see the gametophyte is a haploid and the sporophyte is diploid in number. That is example is land plants in many algae. Here we stop the lesson. In this chapter we see the life cycle, plant life cycle and alternation of generation, and the types of life cycle. You can understood betterly. Thank you.